Hey guys, welcome back. So I am answering a few questions that you guys have been asking me lately, and a lot of it is dealing with my mental health before and after surgery, and what are the changes that I've really seen after having VSG outside of just the typical losing weight, since we do know that this is a weight loss procedure. So diving right into it, one of the first questions I was asked again from someone was, how much did I weigh before deciding to have this surgery? And was it my overall decision, or did my primary doctor refer me to go have this procedure? So I was 200 pounds before I went to have the surgery, and no, my primary doctor did not refer me to a doctor to go have VSG. To be very honest, I don't believe I talked to my doctor a lot about my weight loss or what was going on through my head when it referred to me wanting to lose weight. I just kept up with my regular appointments and made sure everything was looking okay, which everything was for them. It was just a personal decision that I made. After gaining weight from having a BBL, and then as the years continued to go on, I realized I was just way too heavy for my height, and I was so tired. I was having back problems, and I was just going through my own complications. So I decided to have the surgery on my own. No, there was no primary doctor to refer me or anyone outside of people who I privately discussed the matter with. One of the second questions that I was asked was, did I travel by myself? And I did not travel by myself. Someone else also asked me if I flew directly into Mexico, and no, I did not. So my flight was from where I am to San Diego, and then in San Diego, my doctor's assistant had drivers come pick us up from the airport and take us to Mexico, which was only about a 20-minute drive. And once I got to Mexico, I went directly to the hotel, checked in, and then I went to my doctor so that we can just do all of my test results and everything like that. So no, I did not travel to Mexico by myself, and no, I did not fly directly into Mexico. Another question that everyone asked was, did I have to diet before surgery? Yes, I did have to diet before surgery. Depending on your doctor, depending on your weight, depending on your height, I'm guessing they'll tell you exactly what your diet is. My doctor's nutritionist sent me over everything that I needed to do pre-op surgery, and my diet was only for 1 week. The person who I talked to, who was probably next to me once I got there, their diet was maybe for 2 weeks or 3. So again, it just depends on your doctor and what he suggests is best for you. For my size and my height, I was in the range of people who they don't typically would think to go have this surgery. So I wasn't actually put on a diet to really lose weight. I was more so put on a diet to get my stomach ready for this type of surgery, and then to maintain the weight that I had. I think that it really just depends on your doctor and, like I said, your height and your weight. Another person asked me, once I decided to have this surgery, I got approved to have this surgery, what was I thinking and how was I feeling? I was anxious, I was nervous, I was excited, but then I was a little bit afraid, simply because I really didn't know just how do you go inside and remove someone's stomach, like a portion of it. I was trying to wrap my head and my brain around, like, what are they gonna use to be able to go in and actually perform this procedure? I am so accustomed to knowing how like lipo works, which many people do know it, especially since it's just so known nowadays. And so once you hear about like cutting and doing this type of thing, I never actually knew like just how it works. You know, what is the step? So how am I gonna heal afterwards? You know, am I gonna have to be leaning and walking? Is this somewhat like a tummy tuck? Am I gonna have scars outside? Or is this inside? I just didn't know what was going to take place. So I tell you guys all the time, I try to do a lot of research. I try to do anything I can to make sure that I'm informed about every single thing that I'm looking into and having. So I instantly got on YouTube and I was looking for every video concerning the surgery. And then that's when I saw so many videos on how they actually are doing the surgery. And I was just blown away because I just really thought, oh, they're gonna have to cut my stomach and have it, you know, land open like a burger, one bun on this side, one on that side, and then they're gonna remove half of my stomach. But it was just nothing like what I thought it was going to be, and it instantly calmed me down a lot once I realized, like, okay, so for one, I am still asleep during this procedure. For two, they're not actually cutting me open, they're going inside and they're like doing all the work on the inside. So I mean, once I kind of saw it, it helped me relax a little bit, my nerves. But once I did arrive in Mexico and they were doing like my blood pressure and just checking all that stuff, I was like, oh my God, this is like for real. And then the other worry and concern was, am I really gonna lose this weight? Like, is this really going to give me the look that I am expecting or that I'm wanting? I was just, you know, kind of just overwhelmed with so many questions I had. And then I had someone sitting next to me. She was much smaller than I was. So I'm instantly looking at her like, why do you want this surgery? And she's like, I just want to be super skinny. She's like, my goals is I'm trying to model, I'm trying to do that. And I'm like, okay. She has a real plan, a real goal. And she's asking me like, so what is your reason? I'm like, I want to get rid of my butt. It's huge. And you know, at this point, I just want to lose weight overall. And she's like, okay. I mean, I love your goals. So it was just, it's kind of funny that even though you may have different goals or different plans to why you're getting something done, it's all admirable because it's what you want. And once you see it for yourself, everyone else is going to see exactly what it is that you are striving for. So yeah, I think that my feelings and everything definitely was shaky. They were rocky. I was nervous, but then once it was go time, I was like, you know what? Let's go. And whatever happens after this is what happens. So yeah, that was how I felt. Now, a lot of people ask me, what were the true changes that I noticed after surgery outside of just gaining weight? And one of the true changes I realized was when I began going to my doctor appointments. I believe my first doctor's appointment was 3 months after my procedure. I noticed instantly that my BMI began to go down. And the BMI is the body mass index, which is really just like the body fat that you have inside, which basically is going off of your health range. When you go to your doctor, a lot of times when they're asking you for your height and your weight, they also are checking if you're doing your blood samples and things like that. They're seeing what your levels are with everything. And BMI is one huge indication on if you are average, overweight, or underweight, etc. So for my BMI, when I was 200 pounds before surgery, it was pretty high. After surgery, it was much, much lower. I was average. And I hadn't seen that for a very long time. So it definitely helped with my health overall. Losing weight and being at a size that is for your height is very important because you may not feel it all the time that, oh, I need to get in shape or I need to be healthy. Even smaller people are having issues with feeling like they're tired, fatigued, and things like that, because at the end of the day, it's not really just about your size or your weight, it's about your health. So yeah, that was one thing I noticed. My BMI definitely went down and is now average. Another thing was my blood test. My hormone levels and my glucose is all perfect now. I used to have a lot of issues regarding hormone levels, which definitely had a big factor when it came down to my cycles. So after surgery, I realized I was definitely more regular. I did have to take a few things to help me kind of get on track with that, which were my probiotics. That helps me get a little bit more regular. And then I also was taking B12, and that just helped all of my levels when it comes down to my hormone, glucose, and things like that, level up and balance out evenly and perfectly. I did notice that once I was losing a lot of weight, my iron levels tend to drop some because I was much smaller and couldn't hold in the protein that I needed. So I went to my primary doctor and he did prescribe me some iron pills and they worked perfect. So if you are having any issues when it comes to like your iron, or maybe you need to build up your blood, you can definitely even get some blood builders, and you can find those over the counter at Walmart, CVS, or anything like that. Or if you are not sure, just ask your primary doctor and they can refer you to something, even when it comes to your iron. A lot of people ask me what foods did I eat to help me gain weight outside of taking protein and the pediment. I would just say I was sticking to my normal chicken, pastas, rice. I ate a lot of heavier foods that were high in carbs. Right after surgery, I was into a lot of the protein drinks, so that helped me as well. So I just kind of will always, if I lost track, Google some meals that were high in protein or higher in carbs and things like that to be able to help me gain weight. But there was no specific like regimen that I was using, or no list and schedule just to say, oh, I'm gonna eat this on Monday, Tuesday, whatever, just to keep me on it. No, I ate what I wanted to eat, but those were just some of the main foods that I had. I think I told you guys in my last video that I do eat steak, but it's not really something that I partake in all the time, just because it's much heavier for me to be able to digest, and I can't get as many bites in as I would if I was eating like shrimp, fish, or chicken and things. So yeah, I think that you should definitely just be mindful of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and then how is your body reacting to it once you are able to get it down and to eat. Again, I am like 2.5 years post-op or so my eating habits are going to be much different for you if you are new into this surgery, but this is for a lot of people who are asking me and just wanting to know whether you are at this point or getting to this point, what you have to look forward to once you are here. And then the last thing I'm gonna get into is how did I handle stress, and what is my mental health now and how was it before. So handling stress for me, I don't know. I am a different type of human being. It depends on what exactly is stressing me out and what is not really stressing me out. I say before surgery, a lot of things that stressed me out was really like people. I think people stressed me out the most, only because I'm a very shy person. So when I would go outside with my previous body, I think that it just made me just nervous and stressful because I didn't look how I wanted to look. So going into like a restaurant or a bar or something and I would have all eyes on me, for one, it was just stressful because in my head, I'm now thinking, are they thinking what I'm thinking? Like, this is too much, get rid of it, do something about it. Or are they thinking, oh, she wanted that and that's the look she was going for, so we're gonna give her the eyes that she was asking for. It was just a lot going on in my head at the time, and sometimes I would take days and weeks and just be inside and just, I can't really explain everything that was going on, but I would say it was a personal depression because I didn't want to step outside at times. There were times where I had to make myself get up and go, and then sometimes even when I would get up and go, it would be something that would shut me back down again or not want to be back into the environment that I was accustomed to. So my stress levels were really, really high. And I just would begin, instead of like dwelling into that stress or into that depression, I would find a solution for it. So the first solution that I would try to do was when I tried to have a reduction and that didn't work. Okay, so now I'm back I'm feeling like I'm in the slump again. What is it that I can do? So my next step is let me work out. But then I realized I'm working out, now my legs look like a stick, you know, and my butt is just so huge because again, that was my main reason of why I had the surgery. So I think that for me, the best way I handle my stress is just by trying to figure out the solution once I'm done, like in that bubble. So I'll go through it for a moment or two, and I feel like as a human, you should allow yourself to go through your real problems. You can't just sweep them all under the rug like they just don't exist. But once they're all there. Now it's like, okay, let me lift the rug up and bring out a little at a time so I can go ahead and deal with the situation, because at the end of the day, the trash is still gonna be there, right? So the problem is still gonna be there. How do we find the solution to the problem? That is what helps me with my stress. I think that boils down to also saying, how is my mental state? Stress and mental, to me, I think that it all plays a part. After surgery, stress levels just went down, 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 until I got really, really small, and then it was like I was back stressed again, because I was trying to figure out, how do I now gain weight and keep weight? Even though I knew that this was a part of the process, a part of the journey, now I'm just like, I'm wanting it to go different, change. So we're human, you know, we're satisfied one day, not satisfied another day. At the end of the day, I just realized that's just life. We're never going to be 1,000% happy with how we look and what we're doing to change our look. We just have to be able to go with the flow and understand, like, hey, be happy in the moment that we're in, and it's a take and give situation. So mentally, before, I would just say I was more stressed out. My days focused more so on how to lose weight and how to overlook other people in the faces, in the comments and things like that. So now I'm more so in the happy zone of how I'm looking, and I'm enjoying life more without those worries or concerns. Now I have to remember sometimes that, oh, someone can be looking at you and it's now purely on your face or maybe outfit, or maybe they're really truly enjoying this conversation with you. I'm happy now, and anything and anyone that I'm gonna have around me is just gonna not just be happy with how I look now, I'm gonna just be happy with me overall. So mentally, yeah, it definitely gives a different type of self-confidence, a different self-reflection, and it's able to help me see, like, once you make the changes that you want to make, then you will be happier and you will be a little bit more motivated to choosing you first and being who you are. So if there is a time that I am in like this little funk, because it does happen, I feel like I go to all the other sources that are around me. Like, I'm just constantly trying to figure out how to make my life easier and make it better. I don't care if I need to go for a walk. I don't care if I need to go for a drive. Maybe just go sit down and think to myself, maybe write, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself out of the little funk that you're in. I just say do it, and don't allow yourself to go to waddle in anything. That is the worst, and I'm a prime example of letting you know that. So y'all, this video was real quick. I honestly just wanted to get on here and answer a few of your questions, and I really hope that I did answer them to my best ability. If y'all have more questions, don't forget to comment down below. DM me. Again, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you next time.